And I'm hella young. They call me Zombie Ray.
What's up, Fight Fam? This is a very monotone. I'm Caden. Everyone introduce yourselves.
I'm Trip.
I'm G.
It's the TV, baby. What's going on, world?
Come on, man.
We saw it. We all saw it. You know what we're going to talk about? It's the fight the world's talking about. It's the knockout heard around the world. Joe Smith versus Elder Alvarez. All right, so what we're going to discuss is Alexander Povetkin defying the odds, beating Father Time, and beating DIllian Whyte by knocking him out cold with the left uppercut. Seeing as how things transpired, I think it's only right that we begin this discussion with Trill Dollar Bill. What is and what was your reaction to DIllian Whyte being knocked out cold by Alexander Povetkin?
My reaction was the same reaction that everybody who watches Boxing Bros, who have ever watched Boxing Bros, y'all say reaction was my same reaction. So everybody, on the count of three, let's just say what we was all thinking when we seen that uppercut from Povetkin land on DIllian's chin. 1, 2, 3. Poor DIllian. This is poor DIllian. This is, what else can you say? Poor DIllian. Waited 1,000 days.
Plus.
Waited 1,000 days. 11 consecutive wins. Poor DIllian. Poor DIllian. This is sad. The only thing I can say, like honestly, everybody knows me. The only thing that I can say right now, because I'm speechless and I want to cry, is poor DIllian. Poor DIllian. This is heartbreaking. Even if you didn't like DIllian Whyte. Even if you didn't like DIllian Whyte.
You do feel bad for him. You know
this is heartbreaking.
All right, G.
Man, there's so much things to cover on this one, man. First and foremost, obviously, poor DIllian. But it just sucks, man, to be a heavyweight right now, man. Like, first, we had Joshua getting beat up by Fat Boy. Then we had Wilder getting beat up by Pillow Fist. Now we got DIllian Whyte getting beat up by AARP member. So you can't call it in this division. This division is like that crazy. To see, but real talk, it's like, we just watched last night Sean Porter throwing like 280-something punches, landing 280-something punches. DIllian gets caught by one. Night. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like, it really sucks, man, to be a heavyweight. But I will say this, though. First, let me salute DIllian. Because although, you know, I'm not a fan of his antics, and I feel like he's not really a gentleman in the sport. But I have to give him credit for taking on Povetkin. I was like, you don't need to take Povetkin. But I understood if he won, you know, his resume would have been that much bigger. It was a gamble that he took. He bet it on himself. And I respect DIllian, too, because when I just recently found out, he actually manages himself. Like, salute to him. But, again, just the same reaction I had with Wilder. You took a gamble, you lost, it happens. So I'm pretty sure now he's probably like, damn, I should have took that fight with AJ back, you know, for the rematch a couple of months ago. But, again, it happens. But the only thing that's shocking to me about this fight, Povetkin is, like 6'2". Povetkin's been known, like, people call him like the Russian Mike Tyson. Bruh, if you look at that fight, Povetkin hit him with a jab that he wasn't even trying to really throw the jab. It was really just a jab to slip and then come in with the left uppercut. to me, it's kind of like, Dillian, you fell for it. And even when Dillian threw the right hand, when he slipped, it's not like Dillian, like, pushed it back in. Like, I would have been training for that because I'm like, yo, it's still Povetkin. I know he ain't as fast as he was when he fought AJ, but he's still Povetkin. These are the type of things that you should be mindful of when you're fighting a Povetkin. And he got caught by, like, an old school Mike Tyson trick. And it's just like, come on, man. Dillian, you have crazy arm reach. You should have just been hitting him with the jab all night because it was working in the beginning. Them jabs was, like, pushing homely, like, head back. But then I get it. It's like, you just dropped him twice the round before. So Dillian probably like, yo, this dude's out of here. He put his guard down and he got clipped, and it was just bad, man. So
what got him there, G. Forgot what got him there was that jab. That's what got him there.
Yeah. But then now I want to give a special shout out, ultra salute to Anthony Joshua, because AJ, when he fought Povetkin, this was a more agile and younger Povetkin. It was Povetkin that broke AJ's nose, I believe. It was AJ, like that fight, AJ got his nose broken. And Povetkin gave him like some trouble in the first couple of rounds. And AJ still pulled off that knockout victory, you know? And so Dillian was fighting a more like an older version of Povetkin. He wasn't as agile as he was when he fought AJ. But yeah, he's still Povetkin. So salute to AJ. That's number one. And my number two is salute to Michael Hunter. Because when Michael Hunter fought him, people were like, oh, it was a draw. Well, I don't know if Hunter's really heavyweight material. After seeing what Povetkin just did to Dillian, give Michael Hunter his shot, his respect. Eddie, you better go send that man a new contract. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that contract better start off by saying, we sorry. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, this is crazy. So, yeah, man, poor Dillian. But I do believe Dillian could come back. It's like, he is fairly young. Well, heavyweight young. You know what I mean? So, other divisions, not so much. But at least in the heavyweight division, he's still fairly young where he could bounce back from this mistake. It's just, is he willing to wait another 1,000 days to get another WBC title shot? You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it was a crazy, wild night, I must say. And then also, I'm not even gonna lie, man, I actually was screaming in my crib. Like, I kind of wish we should have did this live. We should have had like a live fight reaction because my son was upstairs, shook, like, yo, what's going on? And I was like, yo, relax, stay upstairs. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, man, it was just a crazy night, man. Salute to Eddie Hearn. I will say this, another shout out. Salute to Eddie. And the reason why is because he brought the best entertainment out of last night in comparison to PBC and ESPN. I think the Zone had the best fight card. So
you know what, G? I don't mean to butt in real quick, but I definitely want to apologize to Alexander Povetkin because I totally dismissed him last week when we did our predictions.
Same here.
I said that he was old, and I said he was done, and I totally dismissed this. Like AJ was saying, they got an Olympic pedigree, and that's the respect that him and AJ have between each other. Is that Olympic pedigree that they both share, you know? So I just definitely want to apologize.
Thank you for reminding me, Trev. I want to shout out some of our followers. You know, first and foremost, we say this. Salute to Boxing Bros Russia because y'all earned this. You know what I mean? Like, you can't hurt it right now, but they be all right. Salute to, we got a couple of people. B. Zazone, J. Abdullah, IBI, Alavalid. Yo, pardon me, man. Please forgive me. I'm American.
Again, we're trying to pronounce the name.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Certain letters have different sounds in certain languages and whatever.
Certain letters pronounced differently. Certain vowels aren't pronounced the same. And the last person, well, it's not the last, but there's a bunch of people. But in Boxing Finland, salute to y'all because y'all predicted Povetkin winning this fight. So again, Boxing Bros, Russia.
Because this.
Now, there was a few. There was a bunch. I just couldn't.
No, I know, but I just know one that you didn't mention. So this person rocks with us heavy. Gabriel Johansson.
Oh yeah, facts.
predicted that Alexander Povetkin was going to beat DIllian Whyte like a week ago. He was very confident in that prediction. So shout out to Gabriel Johansson.
Hold on, but let's keep it 100 though. I know everybody that predicted Povetkin was dumb shook in the 4th round. Homie got dropped twice. So I know they were like, damn, you know what I mean?
Did those test results come back yet?
No. I feel Trill on this one. I know that's what DIllian
Always said if you're fighting Povetkin.
Yo, that's what I'm saying. You know DIllian is like, yo, where's UCAD when you need him? You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna automatically go there, but
Now we just
are you finished, G?
We just Josh.
nah, we all good. Yo, go ahead, Ned.
All right, Ned, what's good?
Man, let's see, yo, that was a shocking outcome. I didn't even expect that one bit because the way DIllian was dictating the fight, those first 3 rounds, man, was just like, it was like, DIllian about to take this man's head off. And then, first, hold on, I meant to say this too. The Zone, you guys got to fix y'all streaming service. I was watching the fight, and literally, it was the end of the 3rd round. The 4th round starts, and then it skips. It like freezes for a second, and then goes all the way to when the crowd is around, DIllian on the ground. And I didn't even want to look. I tried to rewind as fast as I can so I could catch it. You guys calling me like, yo, did you see it? Did you see it? I was like, nah, I did it. I didn't even get a chance yet. And I rewind.
That sounds like your internet, bro. You gotta get off that AOL.
I got that fiber optic.
They got dial up.
I rewind. It goes. I see. DIllian drops Povetkin again. I'm like, all right. He got this. Then the 4th round starts. It's going. He's dancing with Povetkin, and all of a sudden, uppercut.
No. He got knocked out in the 5th, I believe.
Was it?
Yeah, I think it was the 5th because the 4th, I think, is when he had the 2 knockdowns. Or maybe I'm wrong. I believe it was
knocked down the 5th.
Yeah.
He got knocked down the 5th.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
So it was the 4th round with the 2 knockdowns on Povetkin's end. You know what I'm saying? Povetkin got dropped twice in the 4th, and then in the 5th, that's
In
when
the 5th,
Povetkin
all
had that old
All right. Well, as we're on the phone, all I see is Povetkin go catch DIllian. DIllian just goes flying. I'm like, I just lost it, man. I lost it all, yeah. I was just like, wow, yeah.
He landed crazy. You know?
Mm-hmm. It's just, it's sad. Like, DIllian, you waited this long, you put in all that work, and this was the outcome of your story, you know? Another cautionary tale for 2020, man. Tomorrow's never promised, man. Sure.
Listen, so there's so many things that you can touch on this. It's insane. For one, though, I've been telling people this about DIllian Whyte. Every time I watch DIllian Whyte, I never got the feeling that he was like superstar or that guy. Like I pointed it out, he was losing to Chisora before he landed the left hook. In his fight with Joseph Parker was about to finish him in the bell room. You know, if there's 30 more seconds left in that fight, we're talking about how Joseph Parker stopped DIllian Whyte. Then he fought Oscar Rivas and he won, but he got dropped in that fight. And when you look at his history in him being in these fights, he always showed vulnerability. And that's what I was saying to everyone. I'm like, this guy's vulnerable at times. And like, he makes mistakes even when he's winning. Like Oscar Rivas, he won that fight, so no one talks about how he got dropped. But that's a major indicator that he has lapses in concentration, that even when he's putting on a good fight, he may still get clipped. We all know a guy like that, Amir Khan, right? So here he is in the fight against Alexander Povetkin, a crafty veteran with an extremely high IQ, and he times this guy perfectly. He sets him up perfectly. And this is after being dropped twice. Because a guy like Povetkin doesn't quit. You have to make him quit. A guy like Povetkin believes as long as he's standing, as long as he can throw punches, he has a chance to win the fight. So when I saw Povetkin land that left uppercut and DIllian Whyte hit the canvas, I thought this to myself. You see knockouts, and that's cool. You see guys get dropped, and that's cool. Povetkin got dropped in that fight. I think 3 times total. Povetkin got dropped. We saw him get dropped. But how often do you see a guy get dropped and he's knocked out before his body hits the floor? DIllian was gone before his body hit the floor.
DIllian got body snatched. You know?
So the reason why I point out DIllian's performances is because, like, when everyone was talking about how DIllian Whyte, you know, people got to see DIllian, I'm like, yo, I don't really want to see that. Like, I want to see AJ Fury. This is why. For me, I picked DIllian Whyte to beat Alexander Povetkin because he's older, because of how he looked against Michael Hunter. And I just felt like if Michael Hunter was able to land the shots he landed on Povetkin and was able to hurt Povetkin, DIllian Whyte would get him out of there. If we're being honest with ourselves, DIllian Whyte was doing exactly that. He was hurting Povetkin, and he was on the verge of getting Povetkin out of there. Povetkin landed the great equalizer, which is the beauty of the heavyweight division. Perhaps the people who picked Alexander Povetkin were banking on him landing that one shot that would take DIllian Whyte out. In that aspect, they're correct. It happened. But that's the reason I picked DIllian. But I always pointed out his vulnerabilities that concerned me. It was also a reason why I couldn't put him up there with Anthony Joshua, and I couldn't put him up there with Tyson Fury. If you think Anthony Joshua's chinny, please tell me when you saw Anthony Joshua knocked out before his body hit the floor. Let me know. Been in the ring with Povetkin too. Povetkin didn't knock out Joshua. In fact, Povetkin didn't even knock out Michael Hunter.
Man, that's what I'm saying.
So you gotta think about that.
You know what I mean?
You gotta think about that. And what does that say about DIllian Whyte's chin? I keep hearing Josh was chinny. Josh was chinny. I kept hearing Josh was chinny. I kept saying, all these people saying Josh was chinny. Why don't they say that about DIllian Whyte?
DIllian's the underdog. You know what I mean?
But DIllian Whyte's the underdog that everyone's like, oh, Fury's running from him. And here's the other thing that I don't like. Oh, this guy's running from this guy. This guy's what was it about DIllian Whyte that suggested Fury was running from him? Fury was running to the money. Fury was running to the accolades. Fury was running to the status. Fury was running to the biggest fight that can be made. That's admirable. That's not running. That's called intelligence. That's called profit. That's called being business-minded. See, if DIllian Whyte was more business-minded, he wouldn't have had to fight Murderers Row, right? Then have to take a lawsuit out against the WBC, then finally be named mandatory, finally have the WBC rocking with him to the point where they're saying he gets his title shot next, right? Regardless of anything, he gets his title shot next. Then he's in a position where all he has to do is win, and he gets a shot at the WBC title, but he gets knocked out by Povetkin.
Povetkin chilling.
It's up. You can't make this up.
He didn't get knocked out. Povetkin tried to take his head off his shoulders.
And now, the 1,000 days #1 contender, Derek Chisora, right? Beating Oscar Rivas, beating Joseph Parker, right? 11 wins in a row, taking out a lawsuit against the WBC, having the WBC concede he's the #1 guy, making him mandatory, making it known he's going to get his title shot. DIllian Whyte did all that for Alexander Povetkin.
It takes step-aside money. No.
He could have took the step-aside money. He could have took an easier fight. His funny thing is DIllian Whyte took Alexander Povetkin and Daniel Dubois taking Ricky Seegers or whatever his name is.
I don't know, man.
Ricky somebody.
Poor DIllian.
So,
Poor DIllian.
so what I'm saying is not to crush DIllian, but to get into the minds of the people who say, well, Joshua should fight DIllian first. Why? Why should DIllian have fought Povetkin? You already got the go. You got the light at the end of the tunnel. And everyone, and I get like logic says DIllian Whyte beats Povetkin to a lot of people, majority of the people, except for a lot of the guys who Gene named and the person I named. Like a lot of them had Povetkin winning, and props to them. If this was Povetkin that fought AJ and he didn't look like he had a decline, I would have picked Povetkin too. But I thought he was gone. But Povetkin had one last hurrah in him. Maybe he got a few more hurrahs in him. I don't know. Anthony Joshua's been in the ring with both of them, and Anthony Joshua picked Povetkin to win as well. So maybe there's something that, you know, we don't know. But I will say this. DIllian has a rematch clause. He's exercised it. We're going to talk about that in another segment. But this boogeyman, everyone likes to build up. I remember at one point, Margarito was the boogeyman. At one point, Paul Williams was the boogeyman. At one point, Sergio Martinez was the boogeyman. You know, everyone, there's always this boogeyman people like to build up. Oh, everyone's avoiding him. Everyone's ducking him. And I always see the boogeyman get beat. Tell me one guy who was built up as being a boogeyman that actually was. I'll wait.
Earl Spence.
Earl Spence was built up as being a boogeyman, but Earl Spence isn't done yet. Earl Spence is fighting Danny Garcia last time I checked. Let's see what happens.
Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter. You ever saying something, bro?
I wasn't done.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
He wasn't done.
I thought that was your closing.
It wasn't.
Go ahead.
You know what I'm saying? So for me, when you sit around and you create these scenarios, you also have to look at the alternative. You also have to look at what happens if things go wrong. You can't just look at best case scenario, best case scenario, best case scenario, best case scenario. You have to think about what happens if things go wrong. And I think everyone who was on DIllian Whyte's side, all the DIllian Whyte fans, all the DIllian Whyte supporters, they all kept thinking he'll keep winning. 11 in a row, 12 in a row, got his shot. All these guys are running. They never factored in Povetkin might land the punch that made DIllian Whyte's soul leave his body.
He landed the Russian mule, yo. In the Moscow mule.
The Moscow mule is stupid.
Yeah.
Now I'm done.
Let us know how you feel about poor DIllian. Please like and subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, check out our podcast on all major streaming services. This is the Boxing Bros.
Hold up. Almost forgot. None of y'all DIllian Whyte fans better jump ship. Just like I'm committed to Wilder, y'all better be to DIllian.
Don't hold him to a different standard than you hold yourself, G.
Exactly. You know what I mean? We team Wilder till we die over here. Y'all better die with DIllian. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all got body snatched last night. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be checking them comments too, so we know who's who. You know what I mean?
Catch me creeping down the dark street. This is where me and the zombies meet. Guarantee we all gonna eat. It's Zombie Ray again with HD. I'm a zombie in the night, you better run from me. Zombie Ray in the house, you better run, homie. Brought a mask and some gloves with some thugs with me. I came to do damage, you wanna purge with me. Super Saiyan zombie, I'll be